Hello, everyone. My name is Alan Ellison, running for the United States Senate. Welcome to our Fridays for Florida. Fridays for Florida is a virtual discussion on the issues that matter most to you Floridians. We have this discussion each and every Friday on Facebook at 6:30, Instagram at 6:45, and on Twitter at 7 o'clock, where we have the Power Hour chat. It gives me an opportunity to answer any question that you may have in under an hour. Tonight, we wanted to focus on COVID-19 as our schools have begun to open back up. I wanted to say bravo to all of the brave and courageous parents and teachers who are working to protect our students during this pandemic. Across this state, we have seen counties that are instituting a mask mandate, and this is a good thing. We want to protect our students. But we're also seeing that our governor, Ron DeSantis, is literally trying to threaten schools, superintendents, and teachers by withholding their salaries simply because they're trying to protect our students. This is not good leadership. We need to make sure that we protect our students and support our teachers and support our school districts who are trying to protect our students from this pandemic. Right now, we have a governor and we have a senator who is literally doing everything in their power to bolster their base, bolster their campaign finances, and run for future offices while leaving the people of this state in the balance. This is not good leadership. We can do better. I want each and every one of you to understand that the idea and the concept and argument behind the mask mandate is based on science, and it is based on history. We have seen for at least 103 years that masks work. We saw during the flu epidemic of 1918 that masks worked, and that was 103 years ago. Even then, we had people arguing that wearing a mask was somehow a violation of their rights, their civil liberties, and they actually began to create what was known as the Anti-Mask League. The Anti-Mask League began to protest. They began to go into the streets by the thousands, basically causing super spreader events, which led to a second and a third wave of the pandemic, which ultimately killed close to 750,000 Americans out of the 50 million Americans that it infected. This pandemic was a global phenomenon, ultimately killing 500 or 50 million people out of the 500 million people that it infected worldwide. We've had 103 years to understand that masks were the only thing that protected the majority of the world's population from the spread of that virus. And one of the things that we need to be doing right now is we need to be doing more masking. We need to be doing more contact tracing. We need to be doing more vaccinations, because so many people are under the idea that somehow masks don't work, somehow vaccines don't work, and all they're doing is allowing themselves to become spreaders of this virus. And what we've seen is that there are a lot of our children that are now catching this virus. I don't know if you've seen some of the videos of how the children are dealing with this virus, but it is not something that I want for your children. So let's continue to have these discussions with our families and our friends about why masks are so important. One of the ways that viruses are transferred from person to person is through your nose, through your mouth, through your eyes. And that is why it is so important that we have masks in schools, because children are laughing, they're playing, they're close to one another. And it is a place where the virus can spread, and students can literally bring these viruses home to their parents, their siblings, their grandparents. And we've already seen what the virus has done to our older population. We don't want to see this to continue happening day after day, month after month, and year after year. We have already had so much loss in this country. We've had so much loss in this state. Just last month, I lost 4 relatives to COVID-19. I have had people to call to talk about the family members that they have lost. And it is so stressful because these are people that we have lost that we shouldn't have. We need better leadership. We need leaders who will look to history to see all of the mistakes that we made and work to not make those same mistakes. We need leaders who will look to history to learn from the successes that we have had in history so that we can duplicate those successes. We need leaders who are going to follow the science and trust those who know best on how to protect ourselves from this virus. In the state of Florida, we don't have a governor who is looking out for us. We don't have a senator who is looking out for us. All we have is 2 individuals who are vying for the presidential spot and leaving their jobs at hand for the people to just die. And right now we have people literally dying at record numbers. We have had a spike in COVID cases, RSV, the variants, and they are literally attacking our children. I want to see you work with me to protect our children. Our children are our future. We can't allow this virus to take their lives and to cause them to have pre-existing conditions in their future. There's a lot that we can do. Encourage one another to get the vaccine. Encourage one another to wear a mask. At the end of the day, wearing a mask and taking a vaccine is one of the most, or 2 of the most patriotic things that you can do. It doesn't matter about how many flags you wear. Doesn't even matter about how many guns you own. The most patriotic thing that you can do right now in America and in Florida is to mask up so that you are protecting someone who may be vulnerable to the virus. I know that everyone is not going to die from the virus, but you might be one of those ones who don't. But you could be the very person who could spread that virus to someone whose immune system simply cannot handle it. And that would be a shame. It would be a shame if you're that person who spread the virus to your grandparents and took their life. It would be a shame if you were that person who allowed students to go into these schools, contract viruses, and take it back home to their siblings and cause their siblings' life to cease. We can do better, but it first starts with knowing better. And that's why we have these conversations in our Power Hour chats. That's why we have these conversations in our town halls. And that's why we have these conversations in our Fridays for Florida discussions. We can't do this without you. It is literally going to take all of us working together. I remember when Senator Marco Rubio skipped your grandparents in line to get his COVID vaccine shots. Now that he has gotten his shot, he's not doing anything to help curb the rate of COVID-19 in this state. He is completely silent. I know that each and every one of you listening to this can't even think of a single thing that he has said that has brought calm to this situation, brought education to this situation, and helped to move our needle backwards on this COVID-19 pandemic in this country. We need to do better. We can have better. There are leaders such as myself and others who are literally trying to do everything in their power to educate the public about how we can move beyond this. I know for a fact that it's going to take all of us. We're going to get through this, but we're going to get through this together, and we're going to get through this with more education on how the viruses are transmitted. We're going to get through this with the education on how to protect ourselves from this virus that is literally claiming hundreds of thousands of lives in America. I'm trusting in you. I'm depending on you because I'm just one person. I can't do this alone. It's going to take all of us amplifying the knowledge, the information that exists, combating the lies, combating all of this misinformation that has gone forward time and time again, day in and day out. We have to do our part. That starts with you. If you want to be a part of our movement to have better, to be better, to build back better, then join our campaign at allenellison.com. Please make a contribution. Sign up and join the movement. We can't do this without you. We need your support. We need your amplification. Please share this video on your page. Get others to join in, and let's build the kind of future that we want to have for our children and their children's children. Thank you all so much for joining our Fridays for Florida discussion. Please meet us back here again next Friday as we're going to continue having these discussions because they are so important. I have these conversations with you because I believe you are worth my time in getting to know you, and I need for you to get to know me. What we're building is really a partnership for a better future. Our campaign is about improving the quality of life for everyone, and that's comprehensive. It takes a lot, but I'm willing to do the work. I'm willing to be the most responsive and the most engaging senator in the United States Senate because I believe that you are worth it. So thank you all very much, and let's continue to have better. Let's continue to vote better so that we can be the kind of country that is becoming more perfect each and every election cycle. Again, thank you all very much. You have a wonderful evening.